When it comes to what your family eats and drinks, you know your choices matter. You're the expert because you know what fits your life. And getting it right starts with good information. That's why America's beverage companies are sharing more information about our ingredients at goodtoknowfacts.org. No spin, no judgments, just the facts straight from the experts for more than 140 beverage ingredients. Visit goodtoknowfacts.org.
The Oregon Ducks look to rebound from last week's loss to Indiana at Rutgers on Saturday. But is this a classic trap game? Let's talk about all that and more on the Ducks Confidential podcast. I am Aaron Fentress of the Oregonian and OregonLive, joined by George Wrighster of the Unafraid Show and the CW. What's up, George? How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to see how this team rebounds. I am ready for a weekend of college football where there are some big games. SEC bias is at an all-time high right now. I mean, dude, they are doing the bidding right now, buddy. So I like, if you watch the television, you would believe that the entire conference should be in the college football playoff.
Should be in the championship game.
Yes. All of them. Just 12 SEC teams. Nobody else should be in.
Should be a round robin. Like a jamboree, like high school jamboree for the national title.
Nobody else matters. Nobody else should be playing. When in reality, when you watch these SEC teams, Aaron, you're sitting there like, they're cool, but LSU's offense looks pedestrian. Yeah. Pedestrian at best. They're thinking about switching quarterbacks. So how are they squeaking these games out? Because of who they're playing. Florida's awful. They're finna fire their head coach, and they're trotting him out there this weekend anyway, which is insanity. Oklahoma, John Mateer was awful versus a Texas team who's looked awful all year. So, but now all of a sudden, Texas is good again, apparently. Or maybe Oklahoma put out a quarterback that shouldn't have been out there in the game anyway, and he threw three picks. You got Georgia. They've already lost to Alabama, who lost to 3-3 Florida State. So, I mean, damn. I mean, if we gonna knock Oregon's Penn State win, but I guarantee nobody's gonna fault Alabama for that Florida State loss. They'll be like, oh yeah, but they went in and they ran through the SEC schedule. Come on, man.
Well, yeah, I mean that's actually kind of legit. But anyway.
No, I don't think you should only be judged by your losses. But the thing is, the SEC only gets judged against itself. They don't care what happens in the non-conference games. Forget the fact that Texas lost to Ohio State. But now all of a sudden, Texas great again because they beat Oklahoma. And you're like, come on, man. And then they'll be like, well, Oklahoma beat Michigan. Yeah, they did. They squeaked by Michigan, and they have not scored more than 2 offensive touchdowns in any SEC game since they've been in the conference for a year and a half, since 2024. And then USC just beat Michigan down. But hey, we still got questions about USC.
You know, it drives college football, to be honest. The craziness of it all and people talking. When we have games coming up, they're going to decide all this stuff for us is what drives us. So I kind of tune it out. I appreciate, though, your enthusiasm for it because I can't get there. But
that's why I'm happy that we're going to 9 conference games. Well, the SEC is going to 9 conference games because all of this 8 conference games, everybody ends up, 6-2, and they're like, see, look. I mean,
they're all great.
Anybody can beat anybody. But when in the last year of the Pac-12, when anybody was beating anybody and Washington's beating Oregon, but then nobody else can beat Oregon, now all of a sudden, we don't know if Oregon's a top four team. But let that had been Alabama and Georgia, that'd be like, they both need to be in the playoff. Am I lying, Aaron?
You're 100% correct. All right, let me get to the ad read real quick. Today's episode of the Ducks Confidential Podcast is brought to you by Travel Lane County, an organization that promotes travel and tourism in the Eugene, Cascades, and Coast region. Ducks fans can find out more at www.eugenecascadescoast.org. Okay, before we move ahead, I got my first big pull of the year so far. Card World. George Wrighster, 19. What is this? I can't tell you. 2007 tops. Look at that.
Hey.
Yeah.
Look at it.
I'm going to set it right here. So if you get out of line, I can flick it or something. I don't know. I'm trying to put some voodoo dust on it. I got some George Wrighster rookie cards on the way, too. I have some Newman cards. I got some Joey cards. I got some Ken cards. I decided I better have some George cards as well. All right. Before we dive into this matchup with Rutgers.
I appreciate that.
You like that?
Don't let anybody tell you that you're a bad dude.
You got my back now?
For right now.
A little.
I got your way back.
You got your way back. All right. So before we get into this game against Rutgers, which Ducks are favored by 17-18, it's one of these games that should be a victory, but hey, you never know. That's why they play the game. Let's discuss something that went down this week. Not a big deal, but kind of. Brandon Finney Jr., the star sensation corner for the Oregon Ducks, the freshman, was allowed to talk, which is unusual under Dan Lanning. Although last week we got Dante Moore. This week we get Finney. Lanning has said, hey, when guys demonstrate that they're not wide-eyed, freshmen, and they demonstrate they can handle themselves at a not professional level, but handle themselves like adults on the field, off the field, he'll put them in front of the media. He did that. Finney came across well. But let's just talk about his impact and his potential, because clearly this guy could, emphasis on could, become one of the all-time Oregon greats at corner.
Well, Dan Lanning actually said something when I had him on, what was it, the week before?
2 weeks ago?
on Unafraid
It was
Show.
after Penn State, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he said about freshmen, he said, if you're good enough, you're old enough. And that's why we're starting to see these freshmen be able to talk, because, I mean, previously you didn't really have true freshmen making a major impact in games. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like Brandon Finney could be the best corner in college football right now, which is wild. And if he's not number one, he's top 5 right now. So when you are good enough, you are old enough. And, they've trained him up media-wise. He's been balling. And I think that this is one of those kids that you're just like, wow, like this is special. And these are the types of things that help recruiting a lot when he's willing to play true freshman, because remember the knock was, oh man, see, look, he won't play the young guys that they recruited. They just transfer a portal over him. Or the answer was maybe they weren't ready yet, and because it's clear he will play true freshman, because you got a bunch of them playing right now. And I believe that this sets up in 2 ways, Aaron. That one, yes, it helps recruiting, but also I also believe it sets up unrealistic expectations for kids too, because there's going to be some kid. I mean, when you're a freshman, you believe foolishly that I am going to go in there and I'm going to be one of the best players and I'm going to play as a true freshman. Now, that's true occasionally, but the majority of the time, that's not true. You are not ready physically, emotionally, spiritually. You don't know the playbook. It is rare that sort of thing happens, unless you're at a program where they don't really have anything. And even then, you're still going to take lumps. Look at the kid, Jaren Kiwi Sagapuatelli at Cal. He is came out like gangbusters, and all of a sudden, skirt! Like, slow down, buddy. Let's get back to reality. You are still a true freshman.
I'll never forget, I think it was 2012 recruiting class. So this is coming off the Rose Bowl and national championship game appearance. And Oregon had on that Rose Bowl team, Terrence Mitchell, Troy Hill, and Ifo Ekpre-Alamu at corner. And they were all 3 were freshmen. And they balled out, right? So you had 3 really good corners who all played in the NFL. Well, I mean, Ifo got hurt, but he did play a little bit in the NFL. And so there was this corner. I was reaching out to all the kids who signed and doing like little mini profiles on them. And I talked to a corner. And I said, hey, what have they sort of told you about your trajectory? You figure the red shirt next year or whatever. He said, no, I'm coming in and play right away. They told me I'm going to come in and play. He's a 3-star too. I'm expecting to come in and play right away. And I go, well, they're pretty deep at corner. And I named off the guys. He goes, yeah, I know. But, I figure I'm going to come right in. And I'm just like thinking to myself, no, you're not. You're going to red shirt. And he did end up redshirting, and then he played a little bit, ended up transferring. But the point was is that, to your point, like they all think, and also coaches blow them up when they're recruiting them, right? Tell them how great they are. You're so great. We want you.
I know
so
that
great.
Dan does not do, from my understanding, that Dan, that
he's more realistic.
Yeah. He tells them essentially, like, you can start as a freshman. However, here are the things that you need to do to start as a freshman. So he tells them what they need to do to be able to start as a freshman. So he neither encourages them nor discourages them. It's just like, here are the things that you need to do. If you do them, you'll start. If you don't, then we'll develop you. Yeah,
starting as a freshman should be something that's viewed as exceptional and special at a big-time program. But the thing about it is that if a freshman comes in and starts, a lot of the times, I'm not saying necessarily Oregon, it means that there was some failure in recruiting and development at that position.
Yeah.
Because you recruited at that position in each class.
Yes. Yeah. I would say that that's the general rule. But then sometimes you have, like, if you have Jeremiah Smith come in at Ohio State, that doesn't mean that your recruiting failed. Or or like Penny, like when you got one of the best corners in the entire country, that doesn't mean your recruiting failed. It just means that you got a phenomenon. So that but for the majority of time, you are right that it means that you're not where you need to be at the position if a true freshman is your best option.
Right, 100%.
For the majority of the time.
Right, yeah. All right, moving along real quick, let's talk about the James Franklin firing at Penn State. I've seen some of your tweets about it. A lot of people outside of Penn State seem to think it was kind of weird. But it seems like this is – okay, so let's go back. Everyone who followed me knows that I felt like the 2016 team at Oregon, that staff, 2 years after going to the national championship game and the staff with 4 conference titles, deserved a chance to turn things around, right? Clearly that didn't happen. Now we're seeing a guy who 7 games ago, George, was 3 points away from going to the national championship game, who 4 games ago was ranked 2 or 3 in the country. And now, boom, he's fired with a $48 million buyout. Now, according to reports, he has to look for another job, which will offset some of that. But still, is this a sign that we've reached an era? Hold on. Hold on. Just real quick. Is this a sign we've reached an era where even more so because of the transfer portal, because you can go buy players, because that programs like that, there's no margin for error anymore. You have to be elite or you're out?
I would say no, right? And the only reason, but I think that both things are true at the same time. That with Penn State, and we talked about this the other day, I felt like they put that they were living in the old college football brain, that they put everything, all their hopes and dreams, and showing that they were ready on that Oregon game. Right. And when it didn't happen, they literally died inside. You know what I mean? Like it was like somebody stole their
the light went out.
Yeah. It was like Peanuts. Somebody stole Linus's blanket, and he just couldn't go on. So I looked at it and I'm like, on one hand, I understand, because after that Northwestern game, they were dead. Like there was no light. There was no life in James Franklin's eyes. Like it was clear he knew what was coming in the press conference and everything else. But I think had the school supported him, they would have all the hope would not have cratered. And I do believe that we live in an era where people they're still living in the old college football brain that 11-1 is not good. 10-2 is not good. When in reality,
someone called Franklin average the other day. I'm like, how is what's he 120 and 60 for his 41st career? That's not average.
There's nothing about him that he is clear. See, he's in one of those spots, and honestly, Aaron, it makes it very difficult for people, because as fans, they hate the thing that they hate the most is the purgatory stage. They hate being really good but not elite.
Right.
like they can deal with being a bottom dweller, and like you can deal with being Vanderbilt, right? But then let Vanderbilt have, or even Indiana, where where like you are used to being in the toilet bowl, and then all of a sudden you start to have some success. 5-10 years of that, and now all of a sudden you're like, we need to get to the next level. Like you don't even appreciate what has happened. And I have said it many times on here, Aaron, this year. How many times have I said, y'all, we need to enjoy the moment, enjoy where you are now, enjoy where your feet are, enjoy the program's success, because we are moving much more toward an NFL model in college football where the team that wins the championship might have 3 losses. Because it's about how you play when you get into the tournament, that you cannot put all your hopes and dreams into one game anymore. They wanted to fire Ryan Day, and people are still talking about, oh well, if he loses to Michigan this year, so freaking what? I know it'll hurt your feelings, but guess what? It is. Everything will be okay. The sun will come up. You won a national championship a year ago. Be happy, and you're going to get back into the tournament. If you lose in the tournament, you are still in the right way. So so you can be passionate, but not be, but still recalibrate your mind, because the old days are not what college football is anymore.
Right. No, 100% agree. All right, let's move on to this game. Ducks coming off a 30-20 loss to Indiana at home. Offense did not look so good. As a matter of fact, over its last 8 quarters, 3 offensive touchdowns scored by Oregon, and 1 came on a busted coverage against Indiana. So you need to fix some things there. It seems like Rutgers is a good get-right opponent. My 3 words going into this game: run the ball. Look, I get Rutgers' pass defense isn't good. This could be a great day for Dante Moore, but Dan Lanning has admitted they ran the ball well in the first half against Indiana, but got away from it in the second half. I think they need to reestablish that to take some pressure off Dante. He can still have a nice game, but commit yourself to running that football and start this weekend. What do you think? What's your 3 words?
Start fast, dominate.
Okay.
That's what I want to see. If this is a 13-10, I've told everybody, and I don't want to be alarmist, but if they start, if it's 13-10 at halftime, Ducks up, Ducks down, it don't even matter. If it's 13-10 to halftime and Dante's healthy, and and you haven't had some catastrophes happen,
right?
I will be looking at this team like, oh, we're gonna have dog fights the rest of the way. You might get out of this 10-2, maybe get out of this 10-2 if you start slow in the first half. And I know that feels like an overreaction, but it's not.
It's not at all.
No, it means that if you can't, and Rutgers, it's not like Rutgers is a slappy. They're not just gonna just lay down. And they're at home. You are 3 time zones away. I need to see how this team's going to rebound and react, because this is one of those times where, like, you got to stand up and be like, oh, yeah. We lost to a good team, but we still that man. And this is where you have to exert who you are. And I know that we just saw Washington struggle in the first half and then still win by 19 points. But when I was watching that game, I'm sitting there like, Oregon can be beat. And this
Oregon
goes,
or Washington?
Oh yeah, Washington.
Yeah.
And this goes to the benefit of the doubt with the college football playoff. Because remember, I said Oregon is one of those teams that is going to have that benefit of the doubt around them. That's why they only fell to number 8. But if they were an SEC team, they'd still been like 6. But anyways, but they still have the benefit of the doubt surrounding them. And if you want to keep that, so you can get in at 10-2, if that so happens to shake out 11-1, you don't even have to worry. Like you could be a top 4 seed at 11-1, but at 10-2, you're then gonna have to have some people say, oh man, we got to give them the benefit of the doubt. And so when you play these games, you got to knock their doors off. from the beginning, because people are going to be peaking in the beginning, and then they're going to be okay, this game is well in hand.
Okay, so by knocking their doors off, are we talking about better than the Northwestern game, which I think was 34-14? Are you looking for a bigger score than that, or are you something like that reasonable? But something like that seems reasonable with this Oregon team.
No, I'm saying you need more points than that. You need more points. More points than 34. Like, you got to get to the 40s and 50s.
Oh, that's not happening.
What? I'm just telling you that this is a game that you need to get to the 40s, mid 40s on. Like, mid 40s. Yes, this got to be at least a 6 touchdown game. Not win by 6 touchdowns, but you got to at least score 6 touchdowns.
Okay, so Rutgers is better than Oregon State, better than Oklahoma State, better than Montana State. Those are the only 3 teams that Oregon has done that against. I would say Rutgers is probably right there with Northwestern, which was a 34-14 game. I can't even look at that as being a game where Oregon didn't play well when the offense couldn't really score at Penn State and couldn't score this past week. I don't think right now the Ducks have that type of offensive firepower, proven, I should say, to go into Rutgers and score 40+. That said, they have given up 30+ to their last 3 opponents, but I don't buy Oregon scoring 40 in this game. I truly don't. Okay. Sell me.
I'm going to sell you on the fact that they need to. I'm not going to sell you on the fact that it's going to happen. I'm saying that if this offense has rebounded and figured things out, then yes, then that's what you're going to see. But at the same time, I don't think that I'm not saying that the score will indicate whether Oregon is a team that can go on, because you do have to survive and advance, and your offense can continue to get better. I'm saying that you need to see more efficiency, that you got to go back to like the Penn State game, because one of the unheralded stats of the Penn State game was Oregon had no 3 and outs. That was that is a mark of a good offense when you don't have 3 and outs. Like, even if you don't score, if you're multiple first downs on drives, those are good, because those are signs that you can put things together as the season continues to evolve, because you don't have to be the best version of yourself now. You got to be the best version of yourself as you get to the end of the season. You just want to see progress, not perfection right now.
Gotcha. So let's say they break 40, which the last 3 games, I mean, they gave up 38 to Washington with Demond Williams. Sorry, I always want to call him Desmond. Putting up 500 yards of offense, which is insane. 402 passing, I think, with 136 rushing. Minnesota scored 38. If Iowa could score 38 on Rutgers.
They only scored 10 in the first half, which was crazy.
I stand corrected that
awful right. In the first half. Awful.
I stand corrected that Rutgers could probably give up 40+ to Oregon, since they gave up 38 to Iowa, right? But how do you want to see that come about, though? Like, do you want to see Dante have a big game, especially coming off the down performance against Indiana, or do you even care either way? To me, I feel like Dante needs to have a big game. Like, he needs to break out of what happened last week and show off 300 yards, 3 touchdowns would be nice.
Correct. I want to see 20 completions.
Okay.
And some shots downfield. I want to see just like ding, 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 where you're like, okay, buddy, okay, because because that will signal that his confidence is back.
Also, let me make this clear too. You know how I feel about the running game situation. It's solid, but you don't have a number 1 back. I don't think they're going to have a clear number 1 back this season. That's fine, whatever. Dante is going to have to be special for this team to make the playoffs and make any noise in the playoffs.
No. I believe that they have a number 1 back, and I believe in this game you're going to see one back carry the ball much more than everybody else, and have over 100 yards.
Okay. Regardless, Dante's going to have to be special for this team to go anywhere. Do you agree with that?
No. He has to be special. I think he has to be really good. I don't think he has to like carry the team on his back. No.
Okay, by special I don't mean 350 a game. I'm talking. I mean, look, the teams that have made a run, have had quarterbacks play at an elite level. Just even last year, Dylan was a Heisman candidate. Bo Nix was a Heisman Trophy candidate. They were one game away from the playoffs. Marcus, Herbert. I'm talking about that level. You need to be a guy who, when stuff falls apart, they can go to you and say, make some plays.
Okay. Yeah. I was just talking about on a game in and game out basis. I don't think that they need that out of him. I think that when you get that out of him versus USC, I think they're going to need that out of him versus Washington probably. And then when you get in the playoffs, you're going to have at least, when you get into the playoffs, you have to have at least one game where your quarterback is a superhero. So, and I believe that he can do it. Now, yeah. So
that's what I was saying. In order to get over those hurdles, he has to be special. They're not going to make the playoffs, and if they get in the playoffs, he's going to have to. I didn't understand what you were saying. I thought you were saying that he's going to have to be special on a game in and game out. Oh yeah, no, not every game, not every game. But the fact of the matter is, he's only really been special in a big game once in his career, so he needs to do it more often to make that kind of a norm. Or you just got to be able to flip that switch in the playoffs.
Well, he only had two big games in his career. I mean, if we're really being honest.
Well. Those were the biggest games he's ever played. But I mean, even against Power 4 competition in the Pac-12 as a freshman, whether we call it how big, I'm talking about against that type of competition. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So let's assume Ducks get, high 30s at least. You're looking for 40s. Any concern with the defense at all in this game? Because Rutgers clearly not a great team offensively. Let's go to quarterback. Okay, I got some stats for you. So
Ethan
I got some stats for you here. So 1,800 yards passing, about 11 touchdowns, 3 picks. However, 7 touchdowns, 0 picks in the non-conference games against Ohio, Miami, Ohio, and Norfolk State. So he hasn't played as well, of course, against Iowa, Minnesota, and Washington, all lost. Yeah. However, against Washington, 386 through the air, 2 touchdowns. So, and he's a redshirt freshman, so he's developing as well. So I feel like he's actually going to have a solid game in this game to make it at least relatively close. They have a good running game as well, led by Antoine Raymond. He's got 3 really good receivers catching from between 395 yards to 500 plus, so it's balanced. He's spreading it around. Do you think this offense can surpass 20 to make this thing close?
No.
Okay, moving on.
And the reason why is because I watched their game versus Washington, and I watched their game versus Iowa. Their quarterback, Kaliak Manis, who threw for 330 yards versus Iowa as well, like they're going to try to – they hit you with a lot of bubble screens. They hit you with a lot of different things. You know what I mean? But I believe that he'll throw for probably – because they're going to be down. He'll be chucking the ball around still. But he makes mistakes. Like if you put pressure on him, he will. In the Washington game, he ran out of bounds a couple of times without throwing the ball away. The thing I got mad at Dante for this last week, there were things in the Washington game where you were like, oh my God, kid, please don't. No, absolutely not. And I do. No. He's a senior. He's a senior. He's not a freshman. Yeah.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
My fault. I was watching highlights there. He's calling him a redshirt freshman.
No. He's for sure.
My bad. Scratch that.
Yeah, he's been there a minute. And
he's a senior. You're right. My bad.
And so I do not believe that because he was at Minnesota first. I don't believe that a Tiger changes his stripes. This is going to, and what I just saw in their last game, the Ducks should come away with multiple interceptions in this game. Multiple. He's only thrown 3 all season. This should be a 2-pick game. All
right. I feel very strongly that they will get 20 points, but we'll see. All right. Let's. Anything else about this game? I mean, we kind of agree they're going to.
And remember, he's thrown an interception in each of the last 3 games.
Right.
Those are his only 3 picks of the season. And when he gets to. And Washington dropped 2 picks.
Okay.
So once he gets having to throw the ball over 30 times, the ball's going in danger.
All right. Let's look around the country real quick before we get to our predictions. You got number 5 Ole Miss at number 9 Georgia, number 11 Tennessee at number 6 Alabama, number 20 USC at number 13 Notre Dame. And number 10, LSU is at number 17, Vandy. Is there anything else going on in the Big Ten other than USC? Is there a Big Ten game? I don't think there really is there?
I think that there are some teams that can. I mean, there are some teams across the country that are going to have some games. I think that.
Washington, Michigan. Sorry.
Yep. I think that you got Nebraska, Minnesota could be a thing. Because I don't trust Nebraska as far as I can throw them. Miami, Louisville, that could be a test. So I know that you're going to have your eyeballs on that on Friday. Duke, Virginia Tech. Duke is favored in that game, despite Georgia Tech being 6-0, and I 100% understand why. There's no chance Ohio State gets beat by Wisconsin. There's a 0% chance. They quit last week, and Luke Fickell's days are numbered there. I mean, they are, bro. How do you get dog walked by Iowa? Dog walked by Iowa's offense. I think they lost 37-0. And then also in the Big Ten, I am interested to see this Texas Tech Arizona State game because Texas Tech is really good, but there are reports that because Arizona State's quarterback was out last week and that he will be back, Sam Leavitt, that they expect him back. And if he's back, that changes this whole game. It's in Arizona State. Is it a night game? No, it's a 1 p.m. kick. Yeah. Oh, USC Notre Dame. Did you name that?
I said that.
Oh, yeah, I am. Bro, my eyeballs are all over that game, buddy. All over that game. Now, I like Marcus Freeman. I want him to win. I don't want him to lose. But at the same time, I would like USC to be ranked when we play them. So I am torn in this game. But I cannot say that I would be upset with watching USC and their fans peacocking. Oh my God, we're so good. We're so good. To just have their hopes and dreams shattered. And then we beat them too. And then somebody else beat them and they finished 8-4. I would not cry about that.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Do you feel the same way about the Huskies, whose fans are freaking out because they're not ranked, which maybe they should be, although they don't really have a quality win. They're playing Michigan this week. They'll be ranked if they win this game. Is that a legit team, or are they kind of like,
Yes. I had Washington in my top 25 before the season started.
Where do you have them now? They
have a legitimate gripe. I have Washington at number 14.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I have Washington, and so by the time that this comes out, my rankings will be out. I got Indiana 1, Miami 2, Ohio State 3, Texas Tech 4, Ole Miss 5, Oregon 6, Texas A&M 7, Bama, Georgia Tech. I don't believe in Georgia Tech, but based upon my criteria, I have to rank them there. Oklahoma 11, Notre Dame 12, Tennessee, Washington 14, Vanderbilt, BYU, LSU, Illinois 18, USC 19, Missouri, Utah, Virginia, USF, Cincinnati, and Memphis. So I don't have Texas, Arizona State, Michigan, Florida State, none of them ranked right now.
All right, I'm impressed, given that you're a Duck. Good for you.
What does that mean?
Hey. The nation has Huskies unranked. You're a former Duck. You have them 14th. I can appreciate that. Give me credit.
Football's honesty broker, man. I have to tell the truth. And Oregon fans, when I went up there and interviewed Jed Fish, some of them were like, "How could you do that?" I was like, "Bro, this. I cover college football. Yes, I love the Ducks. Everybody knows I love the Ducks." But let's not I'm not just gonna be like, oh man, this team is cheeks. We don't even acknowledge them when they should be. Like, I tell the truth about them. Like, and I like Jeff Fish. I like their staff. But I hate Washington. All those things are
fair. All right, let's get to our predictions. My instant threat level is 2.5. I'm gonna drop it to a 2. I think I was, a little negative coming out of that Indiana game. My early prediction was 33-20. I'm going to bump it up a tad to 37-20. I don't think it's going to be a complete rout. I think it's going to be interesting for a little bit. Ducks pull away.
You got to keep them under 20 points. You have to keep them under 20 points. No. I'm not saying your prediction, but I do feel, Aaron, I do feel good about this defense. Like I do. Right. So I'm going to give them, I'm going to give Rutgers, because I'm feeling a little negative right now, I'm going to give them 17 points. I'm going to give them 17. I'm going to take my prediction from last week and bump it up by 3 points. I'm going to go 41-17.
Oh, we're close then. Not far off at all. Yeah. I just think it's going to be, okay, in games like this, I tend to add on an extra touchdown for that garbage touchdown. Yeah. So I really don't think that, through the heart of the game, they're going to score 20 necessarily. I think they might get a touchdown late, so like Northwestern got 2 late. But I think we're pretty close on that.
Dan will not be happy about that, buddy. I think that they have
like, put the youngsters out there.
Just as a team, that they're not going to be happy if they give that up.
Yeah, but that's you got to give playing time to the youngsters. They're not going to be perfect.
Hey, man.
You can't expect the youngsters to pitch a shutout.
But at the same time, though, too, the youngsters are like, it's not going to be the same amount of young people playing simply because you're on the road. So you can't even take the whole team on the road. So you're not going to have as many young guys playing and then some of them have already used up their 4 games too. So you're not going to have as many. Like, you're going to have players who.
You're still going to be 3 deep, though.
Kind of. Like
3 deep is 66.
2.5. No, like 2.5.
Okay. I mean, 75? They can travel 75, right?
Ooh.
They travel 75?
Oh, 74. They did up it. They did up it. So yeah, you're close to 3 deep.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
No, bro. I'm excited. I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to see. Ready to rebound, man, because when you lose, I'm just happy that we didn't have a bye week after, because losing and then having a bye week sucks.
Sit around, yeah, 100%. Yep. So they got Rutgers, Wisconsin, by Iowa. Then you got Iowa, I think USC, Minnesota Huskies, I think, something like that. Whew. I can't wait for Iowa. That's going to be fun.
No. Iowa, Minnesota, Washington. I think
Washington's last. Oh, Iowa. Yeah.
But I think
Iowa, you're right.
Yeah, aren't the USC and Washington?
USC's after Iowa. Oh God, look at that.
No. I was
crazy
right
about this. Do you know how many times I've looked at that schedule? I can't remember it.
I was right that USC and Washington are back to back.
No, are they?
Yes.
Dan, are you looking at it?
Yes.
Wow, I don't think I knew that.
Hey, man. This is why you need me.
Holy crap. Oh, man, that's going to be a hell of a back-to-back. It's going to be all on the line, too. Woo, I can't wait. Yep. Can't wait to see how stressed out you and Newman are. Anyway, All right. Today's episode of the Ducks Confidential Podcast was brought to you by Travel Lane County, an organization that promotes travel and tourism in the Eugene, Cascades, and Coast region. Ducks fans can find out more at www.eugenecascadescoast.org. That is it for the Ducks Confidential Podcast. George, I'll catch you on the other side of Saturday. Everyone else, thanks for listening and watching.